Welcome back to Wave Docker. Got another series preview for you today. Orioles take on the New York Yankees from today, Tuesday, June 15th, 18th to Thursday, June 20th in New York. 3-game set. Probably the biggest series of the year so far. We've had a lot of big series leading up to this, obviously, because, context changes. Initially our first series against the Yankees was the biggest series of the year. And then I think, as it goes on, I think last season was the biggest series of the year, or last series was, against the Phillies was the biggest series of the year at that point, but now we're at, the biggest series of the year. No doubt about it. We're a game and a half separates us. They just lost 2 of 3 against Boston. We just won 2 of 3 against Philadelphia. It's just been, 2 of the better teams in baseball, just duking it out, We've had a historic stretch over the last month and a half. They've had an historic stretch over the last month and a half. It's been tough for us to, gain any ground. It's always, because, it doesn't help that, we only play each other, I think, 13 times a year, and we've won 3 or 4 against them thus far. So, any series against the Yankees this year is going to be huge. So, obviously, this series is huge. But yeah, like I said, game and a half separates us in New York. Just a big series. Let's get into it. Game 1. Albert Suarez versus Nestor Cortez. Big Al, another huge start for him. 5 1/3 innings, no earned runs, 4 hits, and a win. Now 3-0 with a 1.61 ERA and a 1.052 WHIP. He's 5th on our team in WAR. Think about that. A guy that we picked up a few weeks into the year after we picked him up after Grayson went down, Means went down. I forget, but he wasn't an opening day player for us. Hadn't played for us since 2016, and he is 5th in our team in WAR. I think he has more WAR than Mountcastle, more WAR than Grayson Rodriguez, more WAR than Anthony Santander. He's just been a massive piece for this team, whether he was coming out of the bullpen or, starting games for us. And I'm really curious to see if Mike Elias goes out and gets an arm, where Albert Suarez ends up after that addition, because Mike Elias better go out and get an arm. That better happen, but I digress. Big Al, I love you, man. You're doing fantastic. I think it'd be funny to get a jersey for him. Just, because he's basically, he's not going to be on the team next year, I assume. It's just, one of our one-season heroes. Nestor Cortez. In Nestor Cortez's last outing, granted no decision after 7 innings of 2-run baseball, while allowing 6 hits and 2 walks. He's 3-5 with a 3.59 ERA. Nestor Cortez, after I think he had I think it was 2022. He had he was 15-4 something with a sub-3 ERA. He's sitting around their 3rd or 4th arm at this point, probably 4th or 5th, because Gil's playing great, Rodon's pitching great, Stroman's pitching great, and Cole's going back. So it's kind of the same thing with Tawad Walker for the Philadelphia Phillies. They've had, they're kind of coming out of years where they were pitching great baseball, but now that that team's rotation has improved, if they can just go out there and, pitch well, they're going to, be a valuable piece, because they're not expected to be a top 3 arm for them anymore. And he's still pitching great. He's able to go deep into games. He has trouble with his walks, but he's a bullpen preserver, big strikeout guy. Nestor Cortez, solid pitcher, and the Yankees only need him to be this, top end arm. Game 2. Cade Povich versus Garrett Cole. Pove had a fantastic bounce-back start against Atlanta. 6 innings, no runs, no walks, 5 hits, 6 strikeouts. After his first start against Toronto, where I think he walked 4 batters, allowed 6 earned runs, a lot of homer. Shaky start for him. Obviously, it was first start of his career. In Toronto, not a very great ballpark. Fuck Toronto. He gets a home debut, no runs, no walks. I love Cade Povich. Lefty arm after Means goes down. I'm a really big fan of Cade Povich. And I just love for him to, be a big part of this rotation forever, since, we don't really know what's going on with Bradish. If we can, just guarantee, we got this young arm that we can stick around with. And, especially if, God forbid, Bradish ends up being out for longer than we expected, and with Burns, not really guaranteed for next season, to have a young arm that, we traded for, and just be a big success for Mike Elias to be able to acquire an arm that we can have for, the next 6 to 7 years. First start of the year for Garrett Cole. coming back from some elbow inflammation that was announced in spring training. Yeah, I mean, this is just a big matchup. Rookie, vet, defending Cy Young in Yankee Stadium in Game 2 of a series that, is just massive for both teams. That's just very exciting. It's good for baseball. Moving on. Game 3, Cole Irvin versus Luis. I think it's Gil. Is it Jill? I don't know. I haven't really heard it announced yet. But Gil, listen to this. His first season, he's technically still a rookie. He's 9-1 with a 2.0. What does that say? 2.05. My handwriting is really bad. 2.05 ERA. Still a rookie, like I said. Leads the AL in win percentage, ERA, and hits per 9. Also leads in walks. But I mean, this guy goes deep into games. Big strikeout guy. Limits runs. But he may walk a few batters. We never really know. It's tough. But yeah, I mean, this guy, he's a stud. It's just stupid Yankees. They have one bad year, and then they come back, and they're just, playing out of their minds. Whatever, I digress. Cole Irvin. One of Irvin's weaker starts on the year, which is not really saying a lot. 5 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs, 9 hits, 8 strikeouts, sitting at 9-3 with a 3.03 ERA. He had a really off start, but I mean, his off starts have not really been, these immense blow-up starts. He's kind of been a guy where we can expect, 1 or 2 earned runs over 6 innings, and him giving up 3 earned runs in a loss is like, no pitcher's perfect, obviously. And we don't need him to be perfect because he was looked at as a, 4th or 5th arm going into the year, and he's pitching like this. And, my rankings of most consistent pitchers have changed a lot, but I think it's been Burns and Irvin up there, our 2 bearded, hairy guys. Those have been our most consistent guys on the year so far. So, yeah, those are the matchups. Like I said, this is the biggest series of the year thus far. And that's going to keep changing, obviously, as the year goes on. Like our next series against the Yankees is going to be the biggest series of the year. But, I mean, that's just how context works. So, and I'm going to the game on Thursday. Really exciting. Haven't been to Yankee Stadium before, taking a bus up with my dad and one of our buddies. So, that should be a good time. Good series, good baseball. It's good for baseball when there's, 2 really close division rivals. I think that's a fun time. Like, the Giants and the Dodgers 2021. Always the Braves and the Phillies, at least over the last few years. It's just exciting. It's exciting for the Orioles to be back in a place where we, contentious with another team. Like it was us and Tampa Bay last year. It's just nice to be, a competitive baseball team again. Go O's. Go Dylan Bundy. Go Dwight Smith Jr. Go Cedric Mullins. And go Trey Mancini. Hope you guys are doing great. I mean, Cedric's still on the team, obviously. But huge series. I know. I've said it a million times. But, yeah, go O's. My alarm just went off. Yeah, huge series. Go O's, go O's, go O's, go O's. And peace out. See you in the next video. Peace out. Blah, 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 blah.